Alright, let's get started with class 2. So today we're going to go deeper into sequences and we're going to talk about one of the most one of the most basic sequence we're ever going to deal with. It's called arithmetic sequence. So arithmetic sequence is basically the first one is the first term, which is also noted as A, and then after the first term we're always adding a constant, and that is called the common difference, which is called D. So basically, it means that we're always gonna add something to it. For example, 1, 3, 5, 7. We're always adding 2, or 1, 5, 10. We're always adding 4. Sorry, 1, 5, 9, 13. We're always adding 5. So there's always 4. So there's always gonna be adding. So we're gonna always add a common difference. So that is called the arithmetic sequence. And in the next class, we're gonna learn about geometric sequence, where we're multiplying the first term by a number and then stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get started and remember, and we're gonna remember and remind ourselves what we did last class. So let's go ahead and use this formula that we have over here and write the first 6 terms. So Tn is equal to 2n plus 1. Let's do Tn equals 1. So 1, that will give us 3. 2, that will give us 5. 3, that will give us 7. 4, that will give us 9. 5, that will give us 11. And we have one more term. So that will be 6, it give us 13. So you can see it adds 2 every single time, right? Just keep that in mind because we're going to learn about this later. So we're done that. Let's go ahead and determine the value of a term using a formula. So remember we have Tn, right? So Tn, n. And n basically means the numbers, alright? So now we have T10 because we want the 10th number. That's going to go ahead and give us 7 plus 40, which equal to 47. And then for Fn of 5 and minus 8, that will be f of 10 equals to 50 minus 8. That will go ahead and give us 42. And we're done, right? So we looked at all these, and then we kind of think about something. Our general arithmetic sequence is A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D. Right, that's pretty simple. That is, if I had 1, 3, 5, 7, I would have, basically this is 1, and then our common differences is 2, so A plus 2 here, and it's A plus 4 here, and then A plus 6 here, right? We're adding more every single time. However, we're always adding 2 by the next term. So until we reach Tn, we actually have this formula, which helps us find Tn. This formula, Tn equals A plus n minus 1 multiplied by D, where n is always a natural number, so basically it can't be a decimal, it has to be a whole number. Note that D is the difference between any successive pair of terms. So T2 minus T1 should equal to D, and T3 minus T2 should also give you D. Right? So I know it's the end and nobody really likes to prove it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly tell you how we proved it. It's basically we do Tn minus Tn minus 1. So we will do Tn minus the term before it, and then we find the common difference and stuff like that. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and use this formula a little bit. So let me drag this. So for the formula of the nth term Tn and T19, find the arithmetic for the arithmetic sequence. What am I doing? 8, 12, 16. So right away we can tell. So for me personally, the way I like to do these problems is that I will write out what I have every single time. Wow, what is this? What is going on? Okay, so I'll write out what I have every single time. So I know my common difference right now. That is 4. Without an argument, that is 4. Because I'm adding 4 every time, right? And I also know my A, which is my first term. Because we're starting with 8, right? So that is pretty straightforward. So A equals 8, right? So now we have enough. Why don't we just apply the formula? So Tn is equal to A, which is 8, n minus 1d. Oh, d is 4. So let's go ahead and multiply this out first. So 8, well, I guess you could do it either way, but I would like to multiply, sorry, 8 plus. So we multiply this. So 8 plus, expand this, 4n minus 4. So essentially what we're going to have is 4n plus 4. And therefore, we have used our formula to find out a formula to, generalize this sequence. And now we can use this formula to go ahead and find what term do we need to find? The 19th term. So we use this formula and do 4 times 19 plus 4. So I'm going to let you calculate that, but it should be 80. Unless we did something wrong, it should always be 80. Okay? And now let's go ahead and introduce another very, very, very typical type of questions for sequences is how many number of terms are there? So we look at the sequence, -3, 2, 7, blah, 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 all the way to 152. So we're adding by 5 every time. Yes, we can, we can do 152 plus 3 and then divide that by 5 to see how many terms there are. But we're in the sequence unit, so we have to play it, smart. Don't have to play it dumb. So let's go ahead and see what we have. So our first term is -3. Our common difference is 5. And we know our last term, which is which is our nth term, is 152. Right? So let's go ahead and plug it into the formula. So Tn we have so we have 152 equals to a plus, which is -3 plus n minus 1 times 5. It's gonna go ahead and give you 155 equals to 5n minus 5, right? And now we have 160 divided by 5, that's going to give you 32. So 32 equals to n. So there were n, which is 32 terms within this sequence. And that's how we play a smart using the formula. And finally, we're going to do some algebra with these formulas. So we can tell, well, we know that the t of what number is this? The 7th term of a sequence is 121 and the 15th term of a sequence is 193. We're going to have to find the first 3 terms of the sequence, and we have to find the formula to find every single term. So let's go ahead and do that. Why not? So we Tn is equal to a plus m minus 1d. So we know T7 is equal to 121. So 121 is equals to So 121 is equal to a plus, and then because 121 is the which term, it's the 7th term. So 7 minus 1 equals 6. So 6d. And 15 we do the same thing. So 193 is equal to a plus 15 minus 1, 14d. And that brings us right back to a system of equations that we solved in grade 9. Let's go ahead and let's use the second one to minus the first one to get rid of get rid of the a. So 193 minus 121 is going to go ahead and give us 72. And then 14 minus 6 is going to give us 8. So that right away we can tell that d equals 9. So we have gotten our common difference. Right? And with common difference, we can just plug it back in to find a. Let's plug it into the first one because it's a little shorter. So 6 times 9 equals 54. 191 minus 54, that's going to go ahead and give us 67. So a equals 67. Right? So let's write that. A equals 67, A equals 67, and D equals 9. And now we can just plug it in and write the Tn one. So Tn is going to go ahead and give us 67 plus 9n minus 9. Simplify that out. It's going to be 9n plus 58. Right? And let's just use that to find the first three terms. So we already know the first term. It's got to be 67. That's A, right? And then we add 9 every time. So 67 plus 9 is going to give us 76. And then the next is 85. So we have found our general formula and the first three terms. So your homework questions are on page 441 and 442. Do the homework questions, and we are done.